In this video, what I want to do is go through the process of how to unzip or zip a file on your PC. Now first, what does zip mean anyways, or unzip? It's basically you take a file, or a bunch of files, or even a folder containing files, basically a bunch of stuff on your computer, and then you compress it into a compressed file, and that compressed file format is called a zip file. Cool, eh? And what I want to do is just kind of show you how to do that. And with a Windows PC, especially Windows 7 and Windows Vista, I think Windows XP, I'm not sure, it's very simple to do. But at the end of the day, I actually like downloading a zip program, a free one on the internet, and I use it all the time. I don't know why, I just like it better. So that's what I want to show you. But I'll show you like 3 or 4 different ways to do it, so you know you have all different options. So let me just go ahead and show you what software I'm talking about. If you go to Google and just type in 7-zip, it'll come up the first page, 7-zip.org. You go here and you download it to your computer, and you can see here right at the top there's 2 download links, and there's one for a 64-bit operating system or a 32-bit operating system. Now if you have no idea what kind of, if you have 64-bit or 32-bit, that's okay. You just go ahead and download the 32-bit. It'll work on both. But while I got your attention here, why don't I show you how you can find out whether or not your computer is a 32 or a 64-bit operating system. So I got Windows 7 here, and I'm not too sure how to do it on Windows XP anymore, but I'm going to show you here. What you want to do is go to your Start button, and then you want to go to Control Panel. And with Windows XP, of course, you're not going to see it like this. Windows Vista, I think it's still like this a little bit, but that's okay. You can search in here and just go Control Panel like that. You can usually find it. Or with the older versions, you don't even have this search option here. Go to Programs, and would it be under Accessories? I'm not sure, to be honest. Okay, I could just pause the video. I found out where it was. You go to Programs, then Accessories, and then System Tools. I think most of the Windows operating systems have that kind of getting there that way, going Accessories and then System Tools. You can see here Control Panel. So once you bring up the Control Panel, this is what you're going to see. And I believe in the newer versions of the operating system, your Control Panel may not look like this. You may not see all these separate icons. It may look like this. I think this is the default. Then here you should be able to find System is what I'm looking for, and I don't see it here. Oh, here we go, System and Security. So click System and Security, and then here we want to look for System right here, and then here it tells me I have a 64-bit operating system right here. Cool. I'm just gonna go back to the Control Panel, and I'm going to hit Category and go back to what I always like doing, large icons like this, so I can see all the individual things, because it used to always look like this earlier versions of Windows, so I just kind of stick to what I'm used to. And then in here I just look for System. There it is, System, and it takes you right to what I just showed you there, 64-bit operating system. So that's cool. That's how you figure out what kind of, if it's 64-bit or 32-bit. But once you know that, go ahead and download the one that's good for your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and download the 64-bit one to my computer here. It's going to start shortly, it says up here, in 3 seconds. 2, 1. Sure taking its time, isn't it? Well, it takes too long. Oh, there it is. You can just use that direct link there. Let's go ahead and save this. And I'm just going to go and save it to this hard drive right here. And like I've said in other videos, if you don't know where to save it, what you can do is just use the default downloads kind of folder over here. Or if you really don't want to do that, you can actually just save it to your desktop. You can just save this to your desktop and then just delete after you install the software. But I'm just going to go ahead and download it to this storage directory. Sorry, this is a hard drive I have in my computer, and I just named it storage. Actually, if you don't, you know what's cool? A lot of people don't know you can do this. You can rename your hard drives. You know, like an external hard drive that you plug into your computer. You can name it whatever you want. And the way to do that is actually pretty easy. You just have to right click and then select rename and then name it whatever you want. So let's go ahead and I'm going to save it here. Click save. I'm going to bring up the File Explorer. And to bring up the File Explorer on your computer, all you have to do is right click the Start button and select Open Windows Explorer, or go to the Start menu and type in Windows Explorer. Some people get a little confused. Okay, I'm the one that gets confused, not somebody. I'm trying to blame it on other people, but really, I get confused when I hear Windows Explorer. I always think it's the browser, you know, Windows Internet Explorer. They should have named this something a little bit better, you know. There's Windows Explorer, then Windows Internet Explorer. I don't know. Anyhow, the Internet Explorer is obviously the web browser, and this Windows Explorer is a tool to basically view your files on your computer. Let's go to that hard drive here, and here we are with that setup file. And we'll go ahead and just double click it to install. You can see that this is called a .msi. It's just an install file. It's different than a .exe file. As you can see with this file right here, it's .exe, stands for executable. It's also a setup file. With an exe file, usually what I do is I go right click and I run as administrator. Now you may not see this on your particular computer if you're not logged into your Windows as the administrator, so you won't see that. But if you do, it's always a good idea to run as an administrator. But as you see with the MSI file, when I right click, it doesn't give me that option. It just says install. So I'll just go ahead and just click install. Or you could just double click it. Double left click, that is. Click run, and I'm going to go ahead and install it. But the thing is, I've already installed it on my computer, so I don't need to. So all you do is just follow through and it'll install it. So I'm going to go ahead and just cancel the installation. And once it's installed, this is how I will zip a file. First thing I want to do is just create a file. So I'm just going to open up Notepad and I'm just going to make a plain text file. This is my file. And I'm just going to go ahead and file save. And I'm going to save it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it in this folder. Now here's another trick that I actually learned not too long ago. I want to go to this directory, but I don't want to go and find it. Check this out. In this window, Window Explorer over here, I can just select in this window and then right click and copy. I'll go back to this one, select here, right click and paste, hit this little arrow and boom, I'm in the same place as I am over here. Cool little thing I learned. Anyhow, let's go ahead and go my file. And we should see it there. There it is. Now this is how you compress a file using 7-zip. You right click and you should see this new little menu come up, 7-zip, and all you got to do is go add to myfile.zip. If we do that, it will zip the file, and here we go. Pretty sweet, eh? Now how do you unzip a file? You simply right click, 7-zip, and you go extract here. Now of course, the destination folder already contains this file, so I'll just go ahead and overwrite it. Another thing I like doing, because sometimes in a zip file, you may have like folders in there. Like, let me give you an example. I can actually go here, I can take this folder, I can right click, and I can actually zip up the contents of that folder. I'm not even sure, there's a bunch of videos in there. It's actually a lot of videos. So I'm just going to cancel that. Let's create a new folder. I'm going to go here and create a folder. How to do that in Windows, right click, new folder, my folder. And in that folder, I'm going to toss in my file. So I can grab my file, left click, and I'm going to drag into the folder. I'm going to compress this folder by going right click, 7-zip, and I'm going to zip it up. And now there's actually a folder in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these things here. You know what? I'm going to remove everything. I don't want any of this stuff here anymore. I'm going to delete all that. And now I've got a zip folder here. Now here's one thing that really annoys me when I download zip files on the internet all the time. I don't know if there's a folder in there. So if I went extract here, I don't know if it's going to put a whole bunch of files in this folder or actually make a folder and put files into it. Now there's a way of figuring that out, and this is how you do it in Windows. Go on this side of the Explorer, and then you'll see the zip file just like it was a folder. Well, guess what? If you just click that, you could see the contents of it inside. But of course everything in here is actually compressed, so you can't actually run things that are in here. For example, I can't go in here and double click this. Actually, you can. That's really cool. Learn something every day, I guess. Cool. Anyhow, but once you know that, I know that there's a folder inside there. So what I'll do is I'll just go right click and go extract here. And it's going to create the folder with my file in it. But here's another thing you can do. You can actually go right click, 7-zip, and I want to extract to my folder. What it does is going to make a folder called my folder, which is the same name as the zip file. And then it's going to put everything in there. Now what happened is it created a folder called my folder, and inside that is the zip contents. But remember, inside here was a folder. So there's going to be a folder within a folder. So if I click in here, there's the folder. There's my file. Hopefully I didn't confuse you with that, but that's how you do it. Now let me show you. Just going to zip here, extract here. Now let me show you how to do it without 7-zip. So let's say you don't want to get 7-zip on your computer, which is totally fine. Go in here. How do you zip this up? Well, you can select your file, and within Windows, you can right click, and I believe they give you an option here to compress it. Maybe not. Actually, here it is. If you just go right click, send to compressed, and there we go. Pretty cool. And how do you extract it? Just delete that. To extract a file, select it, right click, extract all. It gives you an option to create a folder, extract files when complete. Yep. Extract. It actually opens up another Windows Explorer and shows you the file. And it also made a folder and put it in there. So that's how you do it with the operating system. So it's actually just as easy in Windows 7. But I believe in like Windows XP, I'm not sure if that's available. So I'm not positive. But anyhow, you still got the 7-zip option. So that's basically, that's basically how you unzip and zip a file or a folder containing files on your PC.